Matthew chapter 25, verse 14 to 30. It's the parable of the talents. This story is one of a master and three servants, and it's one of a number of end-time parables told by Jesus to help us understand the nature of this coming kingdom, and then how we live here and now in the light of the kingdom that is yet to come. Yesterday we read about 10 virgins and their lamps. Tomorrow, the parable of the sheep and the goats. And it's all the same general sort of theme. It's about living in the kingdom now in a way that is preparation for the kingdom that is yet to come when Jesus returns. So here today we read of a master. And that master entrusts various talents to three of his servants. A talent is a measurement of weight, about 58 kilograms. And if you were to weigh out that many silver coins or shekels rather than counting them out individually, you'd be looking at 50,000 denarius, 20,000 denarius and 10,000 denarius respectively. Now that is a lot of coins. A denarius is a day's wage. So we're talking about ridiculous amounts of money here. Maybe between 5 million through to 1 million pound in today's money. And yet, I don't know if you noticed but it says that on the master's return, he describes this as being entrusted with few things, faithful with few things, entrusted now in the future then with many things. In other words, this coming kingdom will be one of incredible, unimaginable abundance compared to this present kingdom. Just a few other characteristics of this coming kingdom from the passage. All of what we have has been entrusted to us by the Master. There is nothing that we have that hasn't been given to us by him, to be stewarded by us on his behalf. It's all his anyway. That's something to give thanks for today, isn't it? Of course, the desire of the Master is that we would steward it well and that we would multiply it. Very much what Jesus modelled in the feeding of the 5,000, the feeding of the 4,000. The kingdom to come is one of unimaginable abundance. The kingdom now is about multiplying the little that we have. But in order to do that, you have to do something with what you have been entrusted with. The time, the energy, the talents, the resources, the relationships that God has given you, they're all from him, but they are not there only for your benefit and only for your enjoyment. They are given to you to help you advance his kingdom. We have been blessed to be a blessing, to use the language of the Old Testament and Abraham. I think it's worth pointing out that Jesus himself said that the words, after a long time, the Master returned. And I find that reassuring, I find that helpful, but also I love that this coming kingdom will be characterized by the Master's joy, an invitation to share in the Master's happiness. That's what awaits us. As we sow our lives into extending his kingdom in the here and now, we do so knowing that one day we will be invited into the Master's joy, the Master's happiness. And what's happening here is that the servants are being invited by the Master into a different type of relationship than the one that they currently had. From slaves to partners. In this new and coming kingdom, we will be invited to reign and rule with Christ. We will be put in charge. That's the language that's used here in the passage, isn't it? Promoted from slaves and servants to sons and daughters in the family business, in this new heaven and earth. For the servant who buried his talent, what was going on there? Well, this servant clearly hadn't understood the true nature of his master. He saw God as a harsh taskmaster and was afraid of God, and out of fear he was paralyzed into inactivity. And I think this is so key for us in multiplying the Master's resources and stewarding the Master's resources that he has given to us. Yes, all we have is God's, and yes, we are his servants, but he is good, and he is kind, and he is generous, and he is returning for us. And these truths about who God is liberates us to take risks with the resources we have. We don't have to, in fear, protect and preserve our stuff, because that's his job. He is with us and he will watch over us. So let's be liberated to give back to him, to use our time, our talents, our treasures, our resources in his service, in the advancement of his kingdom. And I feel like tomorrow's parable, the parable of the sheep and the goats, will help us to understand a really important aspect of how we can do that and of what that looks like. And by the way, tomorrow's devotion is going to be the last recorded Moravian that we do for some time. It marks an end of 2 years of lockdown. We have covered the whole of the New Testament in that period, so please do tune in tomorrow for our final devotion. Have a great day.